All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We are back with a Father's Day edition of the Quick Hit video for Sunday. It is June 16th. It is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there. Appreciate you tuning in. As you're heading in, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We just got to 7,000 followers, so we appreciate everyone that has made that journey for us possible. We are just rocking and rolling over here, having a fantastic summer season. We got the finals of the U.S. Open today. We got some Major League Baseball to sweat out. I've seen a lot of winners in the Discord, so appreciate all of that. Before we get started, this show is brought to you by our fine folks, our fine partners over at Drafters. Head on over to drafters.com. Enter the promo code SHIPIT to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 for all those new users out there. Best ball season is right around the corner, and we have the 2022 $250,000 champ over here, my guy Title, in the streets, talking all best ball with us over here at SHIPIT Nation. Well, let's dive right in. It's going to be a good slate. It's going to be a little unique slate, in my opinion, as we got some, I guess, top-tier pitchers. You got Dylan Cease, you got Corbin Burns, you got Zach Wheeler, but they all got a little bit of tough matchups. So we'll talk a little bit about it. Then we'll get into some bats. Then we'll get into some of our favorite one-offs. And the first pitcher that I want to talk about today on the show is going to be Bailey Ober, the first game of this twin bill. So, hey, I think we may get some subs, some guys that normally don't play a whole lot. This A's team's already striking out at 29% against right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. So, hey, we know there's some strikeouts in there. We know Bailey Ober, not a great pitcher, but one that we're going to like today. He's only $8,500 over on DraftKings, $8,100 on FanDuel. I really like Bailey Ober today. Next up for me is going to be Jose Berrios. Jose Berrios, dirt cheap over on FanDuel, only $8,000. Berrios hasn't had above 20 points in his last two starts, but gets to take this Guardians team on today at home. We think that Jose Ramirez is going to still be out on paternity leave, got placed on paternity leave, and I think that's maybe a 3-day, 4-day thing where he's not going to play. So, hey, they mustered up 0 runs yesterday in that bullpen game. I think Berrios gets to them again today. My favorite pitcher from that upper echelon that we talked about is going to be Corbin Burns, taking on this Philadelphia Phillies team who offensively they've kind of slowed down over the last few games, last couple 7 days, if you will. I think they got 2 yesterday. I think they got 3 or 4 the night before. They went into extras in Baltimore and then scored, 2 a couple nights in Boston. But Corbin Burns, the reason we wouldn't want Corbin Burns is if there was a lot of right-handed mashers. He's given up 7 home runs to righties this year, having trouble with the power, having trouble missing those right-handed bats. But when I go down and look at this Phillies lineup, the 2 biggest mashers that I'm worried about, Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, they're lefties, obviously. So Nick Castellanos, I'm okay with. Alec Bohm, I'm okay with. Edmundo, Sammy Sosa in the 6 hole, I'm okay with. So I don't mind a little Corbin Burns today against this Philadelphia Phillies team. Next up for me is going to be Mitchell Parker, $8,200 for the Nats. And we say, who is Mitchell Parker? Hey, that's right. He's the rook. He's had a couple good starts, especially against the Astros early in the season. Now gets to take on this flat Marlins team who just got K'd 13 times by your boy DJ Hurst, whoever that is. So, hey, Mitchell Parker is going to come with some ownership today, especially after that performance by the Fish yesterday. But I think Mitchell Parker, he's a good real-life pitcher. We'll take us some Mitchell Parker. Next up for me is going to be Hurston Waldrop. Hurston Waldrop was looking good his first outing against the Nats. I think it was last Sunday as well. Then he ran into some trouble in the 4th. Didn't quite make it out of there, but I think he turns it around today. against these other fish that are going to be flat. 27% strikeout rate over the last 240 plate appearances against right-handed pitching. 4 home runs. This Rays team is just not any good. 10 home runs in the last month. That's out of 685 plate appearances against right-handed pitching, with another 24% Ks. Hey, the Rays aren't any good. This Waldrop kid is very good. Hey, he's a rook making a second start, so there's going to be some bumps and bruises. But on today's slate, I'm certainly fine playing Hurston at $7,100 against those other flatfish out of the state of Florida. Did want to touch on Dylan Cease and Zach Wheeler, 2 highest priced pitchers on the slate. Not going to be playing much of them just because, like I said, the Mets, they don't strike out a whole ton against righties. And then Zach Wheeler, same thing. I'm just not going to pick on this Orioles team. They're just swinging a piping hot bat. On FanDuel, you can play Paul Skeens. Looks like Paul Skeens is going to be the starter from what I'm seeing. So Paul Skeens certainly in play. We're going to really focus on the DK slate, but Skeens, man, that guy, absolute dynamite. I did not know. I learned something new yesterday, right? I thought Paul Skeens, LSU guy, but I guess he went to Air Force in the beginning. Now he's going back home. Beautiful Colorado Springs out there, Air Force. What a beautiful city that is. Moving on to some of the sticks. Who are some of the sticks that we like? And for me, it's going to be those Cincinnati Reds taking on Colin Ray. Don't think Colin Ray is going to get the job done today. The Reds are my number 1 offense. I think we can play 1 through 9 today. Will Benson all the way up to Ellie De La Cruz, who normally bats in the 2-hole. But give me those Reds as my top offense of the day. Number 2 for me, hey, they're getting it going right at the right time. No Acuna, no problem the last few days. Now we get to take on Zach Eflin. These Atlanta Braves have just been mashing the baseball. It was, I think it was 1-0 yesterday in the 5th or 6th, and Ryan Pepio was cruising. He was doing that Florida-Georgia line and just cruising right down the line. And then all of a sudden we go bam, and then we got an out. Then we go bam, bam. 3 home runs out of 4 batters in the 5th, and it was curtains from there. Give me those Atlanta Braves to continue the hot streak today. Next up for me is going to be those Minnesota Twins taking on JP Sears. JP Sears is not a very good pitcher in my opinion. I do like those Twins in that matchup. Number 4 for me is going to be those Houston Astros getting to take on Kenta Maeda and that Detroit Tigers bullpen. I don't mind them. There were some rumblings that Kyle Tucker was going to be back sooner rather than later, so keep an eye on that. If KT is back in that lineup, oh, baby, he's going to be he's going to garner some ownership, but he's a great baseball player. Give me those Astros at number 4. Number 5 for me, or my low-owned stack of the day, would be those Baltimore Orioles. They are, over the last month, 42 bombs and 891 plate appearances against right-handed pitching, only striking out 20% of the time. You break it down, even smaller sample in the last 15 days, 24 bombs. The accolades just go on and on and on. A 301 BABIP. This Orioles team, they're tough to fade right now. So give me them. They're going to get some strikeouts, but they're also going to have a lot of bombs. Some of my favorite hitters, some my one-offs, and my pieces that you're going to want in your stacks. First up is going to be Jordan Westburg. Really like Jordan Westburg today. Second base, third base eligible. $5,000 steep price tag, but I think he's in great play today. $3,100 on FanDuel. Don't mind that price at all. I mentioned Will Benson, or I mentioned the Reds. I want to talk a little bit about Will Benson. Profiles very well, and he's a great piece to a stack on DK or FanDuel. Only $3,300 on DK. Don't mind that at all. My home run call of the day is going to be against Corbin Burns. I said we don't want any righties. I said we don't want to full stack them. He gives up a ton of power to the righties. But, man, I think Bryce Harper profiles very well against Corbin Burns. Corbin's only given up 1 homer to lefties all season long. I think we make that number 2 today. Really like Bryce Harper only as a one-off, right? Only as a one-off. He's $6,000, very pricey. $3,700 on FanDuel, but once he hits a bomb and has about 3 RBIs, I think he'll more than pay that off. Next up is going to be Orlando Arcia for those hot Atlanta Braves, shortstop eligible. He's $3,300 as well. He should be batting 9th as well. Don't mind him. $2,600 on FanDuel. Really like him. And last but certainly not least is going to be Christopher Morel for those Chicago Cubs, batting in the 2-hole recently. Gets to take on Miles Mikolas. Don't mind that matchup at all. That'll do it for me, Ham. Over here at SHIPIT Nation, my home run call of the day is Bryce Harper. Make sure you enter your home run call of the day in the comments below. And if you get it right, get a free week membership over here at SHIPIT Nation. One other thing I want to point out, if you head over to the Nation, make sure you enter that promo code FGWC15. Get you 15% off all of our monthly and all of our annual passes. My guy Hoop, my guy Tambo will be in Michigan in a couple weeks at that final. 2 spots out of 50 to kind of get that milli $1 million giveaway up there for that fantasy golf world championships. That'll do it for me. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way out. And as always, let's ship it.